Good evening. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm about to give a really unpopular opinion, and I'm sure it's going to be especially unpopular amongst women.
I'm Gray Mars. Break a record by being with 100 men in one day. And right after she was done, she recorded a documentary.
I'm a vegan weed. Call yourself fresh and wear the same weak ass turtleneck on every show. Goddamn. Then we got goddamn the Sudanese Sambo. Bruh, man.
And I'm Enzo. Bringing up in my lives is they're like, oh well, he's violating the Constitution by having a meme coin and him making money off it in office and everything like that. I was like, if that was the case, like there would be lawsuits up the ass and impeachment in court.
I'm skeptic. Like I always say, don't let anybody trample on your constitutional rights.
I'm Mia. That's not a correct power dynamic in my mind. Typically, the people that are trying to be removed are not in control. That's why they're easily being removed.
Yo, that was fire.
Yeah.
I like that, though. I like that.
The person that's dealt with some people in the industry, I can personally tell you, most of them are bullshit. Most of them got something going on, and they crazy, and they will have you. I'm talking about they'll have you crazy.
Yeah, you look professional, bro. You look real professional. In case, like Slim said, it's the beginning, man. We're gonna see more. It's gonna unfold, and
that mean I'm doing my job.
Hey. If we sit there and be old school, we gonna miss the boat. You know, a lot of this kids 19 years old buying houses with Bitcoin, buying Maserati.
Wow. Welcome to the new party. I'm Nora Christine.
I'm Gray Mars.
And today on the new party, we will be talking about the shocking juror number 6 dismissal from the Diddy trial. So pretty much juror number 6 has been dismissed because initially they stated they lived in the Bronx, but secretly they lived with their girlfriend in New Jersey. So basically, prosecution is arguing credibility issues. However, defense is pushing back and saying, I think we have a diversity issue because this is the African-American juror. And they're trying to replace them with a white juror. What's your thoughts on that, Ray?
I would see why Diddy would say that because from the very beginning, they said they were going to make this about race. If you look at the OJ trial, they basically say that OJ won that based on the jury selection, which had black people on it. I would see in Diddy's defense as Diddy's lawyer, I would argue for that as well, especially with the current climate that we're in.
Well, the judge rules that we will not be ruling on race. So pretty much the decision's going to stand. Regarding the matter concerning another juror that came up on Friday, they're trying to kick out another juror. He said he's going to speak to the juror in the roving room privately.
Okay, nice. Is that good for Diddy, you feel?
No. I mean, we can't make race be a factor, so I understand what he's saying. However, if we're saying it's a jury of your peers and there's only 2 African-American men and you dismiss one of them, that's a problem.
I agree with that. And like I said, as Diddy's lawyer, I feel like Diddy's lawyer is making the best decision as far as like trying to get him the best defense. So I'm not surprised the judge said no, but I feel like it would be malpractice if the lawyer didn't make a statement.
Exactly. So another witness, an expert witness, took the stand, and they're basically reviewing messages with Christina Karam. What's your thoughts on Christina Karam?
Tell me who she is.
Diddy's right-hand woman. She's basically like Ghislaine Maxwell for him. Or that's what they're saying.
Okay, the woman who might have the fingerprints on a Molotov cocktail.
Potentially.
It's basically the same thing. Like you use the Epstein's right hand woman, and like it's like people try to give sympathy because it's a woman. It's like, okay, well, she's just a woman. She was under Diddy's control too. But in other cases, you're gonna hold whoever is working with a person accountable, especially if it's a conspiracy case. My thoughts on her is that she was kind of like a part of the system and helping Diddy, just like Giselle Maxwell was helping Epstein. But should she face the same charges? I don't think so.
Well, they haven't brought charges yet, but I'm curious. This is the prosecution's final week. So yeah, I mean, pretty much this is where they're at. They're wrapping up. Then defense will be taking over. As of now, June 16th. Where are you at? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Wow, not guilty. What clips do you have? I'll let you play yours first.
Did you see that Kanye showed up to the Diddy trial?
Yes, and me and Kamal talked about it on Friday. Kanye did show up to the Diddy trial.
Oh, okay. See, I haven't been here in a while, so I guess I'm a little bit behind. Let me see what I can pull up for you. Okay, I got something interesting for you guys. Go 1 second. Keep.
Wow. Well, pretty much, Kanye did show up. It was interesting because she talked about attending a freak off with an unknown rapper. I am convinced that Kanye is said rapper that Jane talked about going to. Also, I have a clip while he's pulling his up. I have one to play. Pretty much, it's Gina speaking out. Gina talking about finding pictures. Gina was the ex-girlfriend on his phone. I believe that Hollywood is a big ring, if you know what I'm saying. And this talks about it. Let me play it.
Of girls and stuff, like while you guys were together.
Mm-hmm. Like his nanny or whatever. Her name was like Nikki. I saw like her sending him pictures of her vagina to his phone, and I asked him, and he was like, well, what do you expect? You're fucking with a rock star. Like that's what he would say to me.
A rock star.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Or superstar, whatever he said.
What about like of any other of the women that you just
and on my birthday, he had shown me a picture of me and him. That the first pic that we ever took, and I was like, you should save that as your screensaver. So he was like, I don't know how. So I was trying to show him, and I saved the picture to his photo album on his phone, and then I clicked on the photo album to like set it as a screensaver, and I saw a picture of him and Lori, like the same exact pose.
What do you mean?
I mean, the same exact pose that he took with me.
Okay.
And he did the same with Lori.
Were they clothed or not?
No.
They weren't clothed?
No.
Lori Harvey.
Boy, Diddy got it.
I mean, I didn't see the whole body. Here.
Okay.
Like from her chest and up.
And did you ever have any problems with Lori?
No, I don't have any more.
All right, you ready for your clip?
Yeah, so as you guys know, we mainly cover politics. So this is a person who spoke at RNC, but guess what? They went to every single Diddy party.
Seems to be like the last half, there's been all this talk about these Hollywood parties.
Let's talk about it.
No, this how
really going on.
I don't know.
You ain't never been invited to these Hollywood parties?
I've been to probably everyone. I've been to every Puff party. I've been to every white party since 2009. I've been to every party, and
you go in the right room, not the wrong room.
I don't think there's rooms, Chan. I'm gonna be honest. Now, look, I'm gonna be very, very transparent on the show. If these freak offs are happening, it's on a completely different day than the actual Puff parties.
Day. Okay.
It's not that day because every time I was there, Puff was there the whole time. You know, he got the Ciroc. He's on the DJ booth. He's the host of the party. I will say that. Now, I've had this conversation with Ray J. Ray J is one of my best friends. I said, Ray, did they ever invite you to a freak off? Because they never invited me. And I done been at these parties. I just feel like, why I didn't get the invite?
Because they know you don't get down like that.
Maybe they know I don't get down like that. Okay, cool. But you would think maybe an assistant would come up and be like, hey, you like girls? Or like, you know, you into... Never. No one ever asked me that. They never asked Ray J either. And me and Ray J was talking about it. We were like, I done been to the party, the after party, the after party. I never seen none of that stuff. Right. But that's not to say that it does not happen or invalidate people that... But I do think it's a different day that I'm just not invited to. I don't know.
You think it's a plot because we saw it happen with Russell Simmons. Now we see it happen with P Diddy. You think it is a plot or a ploy to take down prominent, high-powered black men?
I don't know. It really depends on the evidence, right? Because they did say that there were drugs in the baby oil. I don't know. That's allegedly.
Is that true? You think that Puff had 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know because the internet is fake, like we said earlier. You just don't know. Right. But if that is in fact true, then that is a problem. One thing I do know about Puff is that he's an abuser. You know, he abused Cassie. We all saw the video. Right. It is not okay. And but as far as the freak offs, I don't know about that.
Did you have, when I say relationship, I don't mean intimate relationship, but did you have a relationship with Puff Daddy where you cool? Did you talk? Did you know him? Things like that?
I would say that we didn't talk on the phone and we didn't hang out, but I was always invited to the party. Okay. And that's the extent of our friendship.
Okay. Now, is it true that you were at the Halloween party that Puff's sons and Ray J got into it?
I was, yes. I was right there.
What happened?
They just pressed Ray J and they were just like, stop talking about dad. And then Ray J said what he said, like something like, I know your dad better than you know your dad or something like that. And then it just got ugly for a second. Yeah, because I'm cool with Christian and Justin and Quincy, but then I also love Ray J. And he's like my brother. And I'm just like, guys, please just stop. It's not worth it. Y'all don't want to do this. Like, so it, you know, and I told Ray J, I said, look, that's their dad. What do you expect them to do? Like, of course they're going to stand up for their dad. You know what I mean? Like,
and rightfully so.
Right.
But it's reported that Breezy, Chris Brown, was the peacemaker. Is that true?
I think I was the peacemaker.
That was you.
I think, well, from what I remember, I was going to both sides and like, y'all don't need to do this. But maybe Chris came down at some point. It was in the garage. I'm not sure.
What have you learned about fame?
Oh.
Because you've had more than 15 minutes. You've had two decades.
So that's Amber Rose. She spoke at RNC. Basically, she said she went to every Diddy party, but she never saw anything. I mean, in the comments, put if you guys think Amber Rose was a part of this. Let me bring Nora back up. Nora, did you see or did you hear about Ray J fighting with Diddy's sons? You're muted.
No, this is new to me. I've never heard of this before. I've never heard that part of the story before.
Okay, so yeah, they pressed Ray J because I think Ray J was saying that Puff like deserved to go to jail or something like that. Because you know, Ray J is like Suge, like godson or something like that. Because Ray J is Snoop cousin.
Oh, okay.
So you know, Ray J grew up with Suge, so that's another element that's like in that story.
Wow, that's news to me. I never heard of that before.
Yeah, for sure. So I mean, that's a crazy thing. But I mean, did you have something else to add? Did you want me to show another clip?
Nothing. Just giving an update about what they're testifying to today. So, Christina Karam, they're pretty much trying to say that she's all over this. They're trying to implicate her for delivering cash to the hotels. Also, if you guys recall, Jane testified that Christina Karam told her that she often flies with drugs in her bags and delivers it for Diddy across state lines. So, yeah, her name is being mentioned. Yet they have yet to name charges on her, which is interesting to me. Then pretty much Jane and Christina Karam, there was a text message exchanged for them asking them to bring 15 bath towels, and then saying that usually he brings $5,000 to $10,000 with him, and just I guess just breaking down the texts and all the things they talked about. Also, there are voice notes between him and Cassie. There's one of them I just wanted to play before, not Cassie, between him and Jane before you play the next video. 1 second, I'm trying to pull it up.
All right.
Hold on. Sorry. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen. So also another thing that he testified to, there was a lot of jealousy between him and Jane. Let me play the voice message now. Yeah, there we go.
With me, I said okay. I'm in Miami. I don't have a lot of friends out here. Okay. She asked me if she could work out with me. I said okay. You got to believe what you want. It's the last time you're gonna be cursing at me, disrespecting me over nothing. Like I'm a human being. I'm not gonna lock myself up in a room and have no friends. I don't have a bunch of guy friends. I already told you that. She's just came over to work out. But I'm not going to be explaining to you. It don't matter if I just got finished her the other day. I'm single. I could do whatever the I want to, but I didn't. You're straight flipping out on me. And I told you that you had one more time to do this. Flipping out on me because somebody came to work out with me at my house. You're nuts. So be sad, go crazy, do whatever you want to do. Okay, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve being honest with somebody. And then every time they see somebody around, they like, I'm doing something, working out.
So great. As a man, can you relate to this? Like dealing with a woman, you're honest with her, you told her what time it is, you said, look, I don't want monogamy, I want multiple women, and she's still tripping on you. But on top of it, you sending chick $10,000 a month, paying for trips, paying for shopping sprees. How would you feel as a man if you still paying chicks bills and she's still stressing you?
It doesn't matter. In both situations, even if you're not paying a chick, she go act like that. Even if you're not sharing a chick, she go act like that. A chick is going to be controlling to me, but that's been my experience. If a guy can come on here and say, hey, I could just be reasonable with my girl and she doesn't act out emotionally, I'll be like, well, you found a rare person. Yeah,
or she's messing with other dudes.
Or she's messing with other dudes. That is possible. But in Diddy's particular situation, like y'all doing freak offs, and I don't know if you heard this, she compared herself to Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Shaq as far as a freak off. Like she's the Michael Jordan of freak offs. So like you literally mess with other men, but you don't want to be with other women. But I guess she feels like, oh, I'm messing with you're messing with other men for you. I'm not doing that for my own pleasure, so you shouldn't be messing with nobody.
Out of the testimony you heard, this was a debate I had with somebody. I'll tell you about it later. But out of the testimony that you heard, who do you think was the bigger hoe of the two, Cassie or Jane?
I felt like Jane enjoyed it more.
Right.
Well,
and she was also doing 3 men a night. I don't remember hearing Cassie doing that for him.
With Cassie, it's kind of like they were saying, oh, this is my wife. And then, they would kind of be like kind of more covert with it. With her, it seems like they were just trying to be like just wild with it. Like, hey, we about to just have a great time. And she seemed to like be more proud of.
Literally, and I also think she had a threesome in front of him with 2 men. If I'm correct, I'm pretty sure she had a threesome with him in front of 2 men. So to me, she's wilder.
She's way more wilder.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you just proved my point that I was making. But the other person's argument when I debated them was, oh, well, she was doing it for 10 years, but she was also his main chick in the spotlight for 10 years. He had her go into red carpets with him. He introduced her as his girlfriend. He never acknowledged Jane in any way publicly.
Yeah.
And that's what I said to the person. I said, and she would have did it for 20 years. And this one would have done it for 20 years had she had the opportunity. Had Diddy not got arrested, she would have been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Nora and Kamal were talking about why. Well, they said Kanye showed up to the trial, but I don't know if they said exactly why he showed up.
Okay.
Oh, it's muted. My bad.
Yeah, I heard he was up there.
Well, you know, it was shocking to everybody, but you know, Kanye's name was mentioned the day before that when the witness Jane was telling a story in which Puff had, I think he had attacked her at one time. He got mad and got upset with her. I think he may have put her in a chokehold or something. When he found out that she went to one of the freak offs, but they said that it wasn't. It was a rapper who was married, and everybody, all the information that came out, it was pointing to Kanye West. And then it so happened the next day he comes up there. This is the same guy that got on, and I don't want to blow nobody else's platforms, or got on Drink Champs about a year or so ago before Diddy was arrested, talking about Diddy was a fed. You understand? F Diddy and all his other stuff like that. And then he talked all kind of crazy shit about Diddy. And that's how these dudes in this industry do, man. They ain't got no loyalty to themselves, bro.
So today's the day. I've got my RTA mock system and Coyote appliances. And they did tell me it was only going to take a few minutes. And I got to say,
I gotta get that YouTube Red where basically the ads is free. So I'm just gonna let that ad play, and then I'm gonna get that back to you guys. Nora, are you there? I don't pull myself up in solo mode. So yeah, what Gene was basically saying is like right before that day, Kanye was talked about at the trial. And they were saying that Kanye was doing freak offs. Nora, did you hear what he said?
Yeah, I heard. I mean, yeah, and that's pretty much what I said when I talked to Kamal when we talked about it on Friday, that it was because Kanye, I think, was asking to testify and they won't let him testify.
Right, exactly. And I think that was crazy what Kanye did, but you were there, but only, do you feel like it's because only so many seats? That's why?
Right. So to be clear, I believe that he tried to get on Diddy's family list, but they're probably like, no, we're not going to let you in for that. And there's only 14 seats in the courtroom, and you literally have to get there 4 a.m. or pay for a line holder, which I'm sure he wasn't going to do. He didn't want to be a part of the general public, so he had to go to an overflow room. And in a discussion, and people that I've talked to, sources there, he got inside, he went to the overflow room for 10, 15 minutes. And then he walked around with I believe it was Christian Combs, and then he headed out left. So he stayed all in all for a total of 40 minutes.
For sure. So I'm gonna get back to what he was saying.
Him going on that, and now they say him and Diddy made amends and stuff like that. Remember, he I think he did a t-shirt, a shirt or something to say free Puff and all this other stuff. So Kanye is on he's looking for the attention, and for him to be mentioned in the trial, and they didn't let it go through because the reason they didn't let it go through is because they said it wasn't pertinent to the charges that Puff was facing. So what happened, Jane went to Vegas.
Can you pause for a second?
And
pause it for a second. I would like to say something. I disagree with this. If you could lower it for a second. I disagree that it's not pertinent. Let me explain why I think it's pertinent. It would show to Jane's credibility, because I suspect Kanye her, and he would testify and say she's lying, and it would show her credibility that she's not so honest, which honestly supports like this whole coercion thing. Because it shows if she was willing to go do this freak off with Kanye and his wife, then is she really coerced? You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's not fair to Diddy, and they should allow him to testify. What do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, like Kanye could not probably mentally take the stand. He would be a horrible witness, especially all the things
True.
he's publicly. Kanye would be destroyed on cross examination. So I mean, like,
True.
I would see why they wouldn't want him up there. Yeah.
Okay, you
So
can continue.
all right, here's what he said.
And his wife and them and everything like that. And they went to plays, they went to show, they went out to eat and everything. And then later on that night, they went to a hotel room. Whereas there's some other couples in there too and some other people. And there wasn't a freak off, but it was one of the guys who does the freak off with her there. And they were all sitting around watching and drinking while this guy was having sex with another sex worker or whatever like that. And while all them just watching him have sex and stuff. I guess it's some rich people industry that they do. But they were just sitting around watching this dude have a live porn section right there in front of them. You know what I'm saying? So she started talking about that incident in court. And that's how Kanye West's name came up. And which they didn't say his name, but they said his name because it was an objection done. You know how they do objection, rule, all this other stuff like that. So they said it was a rapper who's married. They gave a description of it, and it pointed straight to Kanye.
I got a way more juicier one, so I'm gonna let you go there. I got something juicy to show you that probably a lot of people don't know, and it's about Diddy's like original enemy. So it'll be a lot surprising for you guys, but go ahead, Nora.
Yeah, I absolutely think they should have allowed Kanye to testify for the reasons I said. I think that Jane is, so this is what someone described her who's in the courtroom. I'm not going to say my source's name, but shouts out to my friend. She's been very helpful. I said, well, I think Jane is believable. And she goes, believable? Like she just didn't agree with me. She goes, she said that she got real sassy the last 2 days, antagonistic. She was jealous, emotional. She seemed confused. So for my thing is, if she's confused, is she telling the truth? Is she a strong witness? What was the point of bringing Jane to the stand? The charges, the racketeering and RICO, Jane is not being included in this. It just showed, I guess, that his nature and his character, that he still was doing these things. I just don't understand why Jane got to be looped into this. And I'm sorry, I stand on Jane was no victim. And I think it's messed up that we can't even say her real name when clearly she was willing participant. She also benefited publicly from Diddy helping her.
Well, Dave Blunt's a rapper, is dissing a rapper. I guess I can't say that rapper's name, alluding that that's his baby mother. So yeah, that's out there. But out of your guesses, Nora, who would be the most surprising person for you, celebrity, that would be at a Diddy party? The most surprising for you?
No one at this point.
Well,
TD Jakes. TD Jakes would be the most surprising for me at this point, just because he's anybody gospel or Christian, religious.
Well, Diddy's biggest op in the 90s, Tupac, attended a Diddy's party.
All right, Desiree Smith, welcome back to the Art Dialogue. I am Penny Isaac, and
Who is
we
she?
got some shit to get into tonight, Desiree. Okay, are you ready to get into the shit?
Oh, okay.
I'm ready. Stay ready. What's up?
Okay, well, first of all, how are you tonight?
I'm amazing. How are you?
I'm doing good. I was a little nervous before we started, but like now I'm like in my element and I'm really excited to be talking to you tonight. I'm serious.
Well, the feeling is mutual,
Thank you for the
Penny. Thank
opportunity.
you.
So most of us Pac fans know you as the girl in most of his jail photos. It's safe to say that out of all of the women he was dealing with at the time, you were up at the prison the most. But you were at Puffy's birthday party in 1994 with Pac, right?
No, we met up there.
Oh, okay. You met him at the party.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a 700 plus credit score, you qualify for.
So that's Diddy's, Pac's ex-girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So she's gonna talk about Diddy receiving fellatio at a party. I just want you guys to hear about it. So let me get back to the show.
Like, who was there? Who, where did you see anything weird? Was it just a good time?
So at this time, it wasn't the freak off time. This was the just getting started time. I'm sure it was weird shit going on behind the scenes because them rumors been going for years. But no, it was at Roseland Ballroom, and that night I remember what I was wearing. I had on this really pretty dress. It was like a spaghetti strap, long tulle gown to my feet that just like accentuated the curves. It was black, and yeah, I went there. He told me he was gonna wind up going, so like if I was gonna go, we'd probably link up or whatever. So I was like, all right, I was going anyways before I knew he was going, but it was dope. It was everybody who you could think of at that time who was famous, but not as elaborate as his party started to get, with like really A-list. But this was hip hop. This was R&B. This was the culture at the time. They were all there. Everybody was dressed nice. Some people in suits, tuxedos, sweaters, just the vibes it was a dress up fancy party. The music was amazing. They had the stage, and that's where most of the, industry people were at. And then, on the bottom, it was a mix of everybody. And yet, it still wasn't like VIP. You could go up and down and move around however you wanted to. And that party was dope. Eventually, I ended up bumping into him, and we spoke. We hung out for a little while, and then he asked me what I was doing, if I wanted to leave with him or at the end of the night or meet up with him, and I was like, of course. So that was still like in the beginning stages too, as well. So
okay. Now, who, if you could name like some celebrities that you remember being at the party, who was all at the party that night?
All a bad boy. Mary J. Blige was there. I don't know. I think Heavy D was there. I can't remember too many more people because it's like these were people that I saw all the time at parties. So it's not like, wow. That was the environment too of the 90s. Like, you're not so impressed with these celebrities because they're so easily accessible. They're everywhere. They're at the mall. They're at the basketball courts in certain tournaments. They're at clubs. So, you see them everywhere,
Okay. Okay, so with all of the recent headlines about Puffy and all of the allegations of the drugging and the abuse and all the drugs that he's allegedly on, are you surprised by any of the headlines?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Oh, why, Desiree? Why?
Because I know a lot of people that know him. I met one of his old security guards, and I've been knew the tea about him. Weird shit, liking strap-ons. I met this girl one time that did a photo shoot for him. It's a nice young lady from Canada. And me and her ended up going on vacation together. And a few months later, and she told me something that she saw go down at his house in the Hamptons. And then a few months later, she told me that she went hanging out with like his bodyguard and his entourage, and somebody drugged her and she doesn't know what happened. So none of this is alarming. And then she went back to Canada. So
And how long ago was this? Was this in the 90s?
this was in the 2000s, maybe like around 2004, 2006, somewhere around there. He's been doing
Yeah, the earliest allegations that I could find date back to like what, 91, 92, where he supposedly drugged a girl and she doesn't remember what happened.
That's a similar story to what I heard from somebody that I know is not.
No offense, but if you're paying more than $30 a month on car insurance.
So what do you think about Diddy doing this for such a long time, and like, you know, Tupac's ex-girlfriend, everything she was saying?
Fortunately, doesn't surprise me, and it is what it is. I mean, he has to go down. He has to go down. I'm not too heartbroken. I just still think this is an overreach of justice, though, by the federal government. But based on the charges that they have.
I mean, I agree. Like, based on the charges, I feel like he could beat it. But I did hear multiple rumors that Diddy was homosexual. I never heard about actual freak offs and all of that. But it's crazy to me that I remember Tupac and Biggie being friends before, but I never heard about his girlfriend. Did you know about this girl?
She looks familiar. I've seen the pictures. I've never seen these clips you're playing, but I have seen her before because she's in a lot of the.
You know who Tupac's not real, but his ex-girlfriend is Quincy Jones' daughter.
Right, and so was Jada Pinkett.
Yeah, true. I mean, we know how. Go ahead.
I have a brand new clip of somebody that attended freak offs. Well, that was an entertainer for Cassie.
Hold on, I still gotta play the ratio at the end. They haven't heard that.
Okay.
What were you
Okay. No, just it's fine. Finish your clip.
The ad is almost done, but yeah. So we're gonna get into this. I'm gonna let you guys see the allegation that Diddy has had. Like they said, this has been happening for a very long time, literally since the 90s. His first charge, but they basically are saying, you know, he's a freak. So let me let y'all see the last of this clip where she tells the real juicy details.
You know, I know she's not lying because she had no reason to lie. First, she told me she saw somebody doing something to him, and she walked in and she thought, he didn't, he never said nothing. He didn't even acknowledge her. So she's thinking she's under the radar. Next thing, she's hanging out in Miami, and she comes in back and says she don't know what happened, and she woke up, and so
What did she say she saw?
Someone giving him head. That's as far as I'll go, and then you could do the math.
Were they famous? Did she say they were famous?
Oh no, they wasn't famous. They was an assistant working with her. Yeah. So
an assistant. I want to guess, but I'm not.
She didn't tell me who no, it's not somebody that you would know. It was somebody that like she came there, she worked doing photography and some type of media work where they shot ads and things like that. They were there to work, and she walked in the wrong bathroom and caught the wrong thing.
Oh, wow.
So, if she got drugged, it probably was some videotapes made to tell her to shut the hell up and don't repeat what she saw. I would assume, but I don't know because I wasn't there.
And how do you feel about the case being reopened, or the idea of Puffy having paid the Southside Crips to get Tupac and Suge killed on the night of September 7th, 1996? Do you believe the rumors? Do you think that he's capable of something like that?
Yeah,
Puffy,
I think cowards are capable of paying people to do things they would like to do, of course.
Okay.
I hope it ain't true, but if it is, karma's a bitch and everybody has their day.
So there you have it. Basically, she's saying that assistant that she knows, because some people were thinking she was talking about Jaguar Wright when she was saying the woman, because Jaguar Wright said she caught the same act. So, and then she's basically saying that, it's possible Diddy paid the Southside Crips to get Tupac deleted, and that the blackmailed this girl. How do you feel about what you heard, Nora?
I mean, well, I think Tupac had his own enemies. I'm not thoroughly convinced that Diddy had anything to do with Tupac's death. However, I do believe could have had something to do with Biggie's, because it benefited him, and he also wasn't there that night, coincidentally. So I don't know. I think Tupac had his own enemies, even outside of Puffy.
Makes sense. I mean, I think Puffy probably has something to do with it. And like I said, the allegations of what Puffy has been doing with men has always been around. But yeah, I just want to give you
I
guys.
don't see, and that's another allegation that I don't believe, because, well, it's unfounded. But I will say I do believe he liked the freak offs, because he was living through the women and fantasizing that these men were doing that to him. That's my theory. That's what I believe. But as far as him being with other men, we haven't heard that yet.
I understand exactly. We haven't heard that at all. But Jaguar Wright said that, who blew this open. And you just heard Tupac's ex-girlfriend say that. But we haven't heard that in recent times. But yeah, and just so you know, Mel R is the most unreported type of crime ever, because men are so embarrassed to go and tell law enforcement that a man took their manhood that they never report the crime. So, if Diddy did do it, like let's say he did the Punisher, he probably would tell the whole story but wouldn't tell that one part. Not saying that happened to Punisher.
This guy whose interview I have is breaking. This literally he was on Armand Wiggins' show late last night. So these are exclusive breaking clips. This guy was pretty clear. He's straight. He's not into that. He seemed like a normal guy. I think this was the first time he ever slept with one of his clients. I mean, he was a pretty straightforward guy.
Okay.
I'm going to play it now. So this is him. Diddy storms out the room. Let me play this clip.
That nigga, you want to pull that dick out. Pull his dick out.
So she unlocked the Gucci belt. Hit the flies. I had the Levi fly bottoms, fly joints on. The ones with the multiple. The shit. She pulled my shit out, nigga. She's going to work.
Eres dueño de tu casa en Florida, pero todavía rentas o le...
Hold on. My bad.
You're good.
All right. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. it was like I said, it was better than I expected, because usually them ugly, chicks that are like on that rated level, their head game is fucking trash.
Also, so pretty girls don't give good head.
Not really.
Okay.
Not really. Not in my
Ray,
experience.
do you agree with that? Is that true?
Somewhat true.
I heard that the big ones give the best.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm just saying, sloppy toppy gotta have a sloppy belly.
So did the jeans drop, or she just pulled it through the hole, or like the
jeans
part?
drop.
Okay.
Jeans drop. She
so
dropped.
Now ass and back is facing Diddy.
Exactly.
Wow.
And that nigga is over there going to work, boy.
Going to town.
I'm telling he like
you got a big booty too?
Name?
Is it like, was it like you was it like a rump shaker?
You know what's funny is I didn't even know that women looked at that shit until I danced. I didn't even know about legs and ass and that. I didn't know any of that. So I ain't struggling.
Okay.
but
So now Diddy is getting the back visual, but directing her, because they said this in court. They said that he would direct it as if it was a scene. So everything that you're saying is corroborating what she's saying. So I'm hearing the Rico, because it's like everything that is being said in court is like you're telling us. So he would direct her, but what I'm not hearing is that she just hated this stuff. Her hopping on you and doing all this and then suck it, bitch, and all of that. And so how did it, when she was sucking it, she sucked it like she wanted to be there, is what you're saying?
she ain't suck it like it was no like a garlic word or nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a tamarindo. She like, I mean, it was cool, but it wasn't sustained like that. Because after that, the nigga was, like I said, he was going to work like John Henry versus
like
a machine, like going to work. And then he hopped up and he goes into the back and he walks past me. And so as I'm laying, I'm standing on the bed like this, right?
Yeah.
She's up. He walks by me. The first door is a door.
Back up a little bit so we can see. We can't really get into it. Let me see. Back. Okay, there we go. Yes.
So
yes.
He walks past me, walks to the bathroom, turns the lights on, walks out, and goes
Can you give us the stomach visual? Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
now what? You have. Go ahead.
He comes out the bathroom and he flicks the gold condom in the air, and that shit was in slow motion, bro. I'm telling you, like this shit landed on my right hand. I'm looking at it like, okay, they prepared.
So he just walked past you and threw the condom like, fuck her now.
Right. He's like, he want that dick, bitch. I'm like, oh wow. And excuse the vulgarity. I'm trying to censor
Yeah, I
it.
know. At this point, we're not getting monetized. Y'all need to deposit your checks, but keep going with the story.
So thankfully it was the ecstasy joint. So they got the extra lube on them. So, I'm able to play with my shit. But as I'm getting it on, I'm getting it going, this nigga just started going like overtime. Like pow, pow. And I just hearing him like, bro, I'm hearing him. He's beating his dick so hard. And I'm sitting there and it's so distracting. And I'm like, I got this fine ass like bitch in front of me. And finally, after a minute, I'm half mass. I'm getting it in, but it ain't like in. The nigga hops up, half dressed, storms out the room. As he leaves the room, he says, "Dick better be hard, loud as fuck." And I was like,
I told you, I got more clips. This was fire. No offense. My clips today, yours usually be fire. No offense, Gray. But this was fire. And the interview just got better. Honestly, we're probably gonna have to play the rest tomorrow. The interview was so fire. What was interesting to me from the interview is he asked him, "Do you think she was being abused? Did you see anything?" No, never saw anything. He said her body was pristine, didn't see no scars, didn't see no marks, didn't see no bruises. I mean, so if she was, and he saw her, he said a total of 8 times, and they paid him $3,000 to $5,000 each time. So much so he was able to use the money and buy his first house with the down payment. So I say all that to say, this was no abused woman. Like, this is what I'm struggling with. Y'all bitches need to realize that sometimes bitches like this stuff. Like, stop defending these women. They enjoyed it. They were kept women. This is what they enjoyed. And again, this is why I struggle with saying that this was coercion, this was abuse. These are not typical sex trafficking victims. Gray, what do you think?
D better be hard. Like, that's all I can say. Like, he was the one abused. Like, in that interview,
exactly.
Cassie was not abused. He was the one being attacked and said, "Hey, you better get it." Because
there's the coercion.
He couldn't get right because Diddy had that boy nervous. Diddy was behind that boy, like, "Yeah, boy, get right," and he just was like scared, couldn't get in the right mental. So I mean, he was abused. He needed to be going to court on Diddy.
But I mean, that's what I'm saying. The real edge trafficking victims seem to be the men. He also had to go and take performance enhancing drugs. He said he called up his father and he asked for some pills from him, the Viagra, and he was taking them for the future freak off so he didn't have this problem again.
He needed it because I mean, like, I can understand the nervousness is because he sounds just like Punisher. And it looks like that he has a type. He likes a light brown with bald head, so he has a type, and he has a structure where he sits and he has the visual he wants. So I mean, I just feel like it's wild. Like we don't know what happened with the women because they not being as forthcoming as this, but this is wild.
Or the courts aren't allowing it. Yeah, I got more, but you could play another one if you have one.
Let's finish yours. That was crazy. Let's finish.
Okay. I'm gonna play the clip about the climax. We might have to break this up over 2 days because there was a lot. There was a lot said that I can't not play and talk about to give context because again, it just showed that she was not a victim.
After about 3 minutes, I'm in there. Man, I got the legs. Bow, I'm getting it. It's quenching up, Mountain Dew.
Wait a minute. Hold on. So you finally got him to stand up. Did Diddy walk back in the room?
No. So check this out. After about 20 pumps, I'm really like I'm just getting in it. I hear the same noises, but I don't see the nigga walk back in the room. And I have to see you walk back in the room because I'm facing that way. And the pussy's not very good to where, nigga, I'm blinded. No, nigga, you got a trap door. The nigga has a trap door in the house, bro. He ended up behind me.
He just appeared. You know he does that. That nigga just comes out of nowhere and appears on niggas.
Like the leprechaun. Like the leprechaun beating this shit again, nigga. And I'm sitting there.
So he left one way out the front, but then he didn't. But then he appeared behind you
again.
Ooh.
After I'm
you better be glad he didn't try to take your ass. But go ahead.
He was sitting down. So after that, she, I don't, like I said, I ain't never really made no shit come in 90 seconds. So she either faked it or she just ain't had it before. I don't know. But she was
she came in 90 seconds.
Like after he came back in, I was only in it for like a minute and a half.
And she was hooping and hollering, or was she like out of it?
Nah, she was just, making a noise. She wasn't loud and shit. Like,
oh, so it was like she didn't want to. Like, what I'm saying is though, because she would say she would just let it happen because she didn't want to be there. So was she just doing like a
connectivity through?
My bad. 1 second.
Yeah, you good.
These damn pop-ups. Okay.
I never got that feeling, especially being that she hit me up a couple of times when he wasn't even in the fucking United States, and I'm like, are you supposed to be fucking?
Well, hold on, we're gonna get to that in a second. So after we're gonna get to that, so she nutted whatever, and what is Diddy doing now?
Busting. Then he starts commentating again, asking her like, so you want that nigga to come on your face or come on your stomach?
What? And what are you doing after she nutted? So you just kind of standing there like, now what?
I'm like, usually I'm the type of nigga where I go to the bathroom and wash my hands before I take the rubber off.
Okay.
So I'm quick thinking, I'm like, okay, damn. I reach down, grab one of the towels, and I flick that bitch off real quick.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to work, nigga. I'm a lefty. You know what I mean?
Me too.
So had to go to work. I was trying to think of anything, but the crazy part was it was harder for me to nut than to get it up. Like I was just sitting there just like, fuck, hurry up. Then I felt in the kneecap, once they hit the kneecap, it's over with. So that shit, that shit Pompeii there, nigga.
Wait, So Diddy said, "Where do you want it?" And where did she say?
On my stomach, daddy.
And so where were you? So she was calling you daddy or Diddy daddy?
Diddy.
Or both? Oh, Diddy. So he was behind. So was she laying on her back? Was she on her knees?
She was always missionary, except for when she got up there with the oil on me in the beginning.
So she's laying on the bed, missionary, and you standing over. Are you like one leg in it? Or are you like
Nah.
over it? Like, how are you doing it?
Like this.
Just right there.
Like this. But when I was jerking off,
yes, about to shoot on her.
Oh, when I was jerking off, I was standing over her, and that shit just like Pompeii her, like probably from here down to here, and I was mad because
so
she had
you shot it everywhere. It's like it was a shoot or like a ooze.
It was like a shotgun splatter, nigga.
Wow.
Yo, hey yo. But see, me being a gentleman, I reached down and tried to grab one of those, and she's like, "Oh no, take a shower now," and I'm like,
huh? Wait, you went out for a minute. Your thing glitched. So you said,
no.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. So when you went to grab the towel, what happened?
Oh, so I grabbed a towel and I went to try to wipe the shit off, right? And she's like, "Oh no, that's okay. You can go take a shower now."
What'd you think?
So what do you think? You're a man.
I feel like Diddy was just the boss man in the situation. Like Diddy was like in complete control. And I think it's hilarious that Diddy had a trap door that like he just appeared. Again, I feel like Diddy just, he has a fetish. That's what he likes. I had a situation. It doesn't seem like nobody was harmed. Like Diddy was forcing anybody to do anything. Like he seemed like he enjoyed himself. He got paid, so he got a house off of it. So that's what makes it hard to feel bad for these people. It's like y'all were getting paid and y'all were getting high and y'all was like getting, having pleasure. So like, where's the abuse?
Exactly. You hit it. You summed it up.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, what's your closing thoughts? We'll wrap it up.
My closing thoughts are Diddy, bro, you made legendary status. I don't know if it's for good or bad, but it's a wild case. It's actually nice to kind of peek behind the curtain and know what's really going on with celebrities. So this has been interesting. We're going to keep bringing y'all stories like this. Keep watching us. Like we always say, a new party, always vote.
My closing thoughts are this case is more than just some baby oil freak-offs. It represents so much more. I'm curious for the real freak-offs that are happening that he did with the most powerful people in our government and leaders around the world. Those are the stories I really wanted to hear. This is nothing. This is a cover-up. This is I believe he was the Black Epstein. Also, guys, we will be back here at the new party tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be hosting and talking about the Titan submersible explosion. The 2-year anniversary is, I believe it's Wednesday, but we will be talking about it Tuesday.
The main game is, are we going to World War III? Israel versus Iran for the man cave tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern.
So make sure you check it out. Everyone have a good day. God bless.